Okay, shalom, shalom. Giving all honor and praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahushua. Battle Axes of the Most High come to you on a Monday class to get edified in the Lord's name. Name of the class today is called Trials and Tribulations, man. We know we'll be going through a few little things, but that little sun got the glare in that mud on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know we either be live from the Monday we be live from the outside or live from the garage, man. So hope you brothers and sisters having a good day this week. Hope brothers and sisters in the right spirit. Happy Monday. Not happy New Year's, is happy Monday. Alright. Just happy Monday, that's all we can say. And hope, like you say, brothers and sisters, they're having a good week, man. First precept we going into is Sirach chapter 5. Yeah, Sirach chapter 5, man. It's a lot of stuff, man, that we can kind of deal with. Shalom, shalom. Sis. Let's go into it, though. Read it.
What verse you want?
Start from the top.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Set not thy heart upon thy goods.
So the Lord said, don't set your heart upon your goods, right? The meaning that, guess what, man? Don't let the cares of this world. Happy Monday. That's what I'm talking about, Chris. Right? It says, don't set your heart upon your goods, man. Meaning that you don't want to get so far into this world and that your attributes is the only thing that your attributes is to the Lord is just money and about going to get the bag. And cause that's what, man, the Lord He allow us to make money. And that's true. Because the Lord said we can't do nothing without money, right? Mm-hmm. So he wants us to get there, but don't let that all be your sole purpose of living, right? Because like so much of our people do, we make the sole purpose of our living is basically going to go get the bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Read on.
And say not, I have enough for my life.
So guess what? And say not, I have enough for my life, right? Because really, if you look in the actuality, when we go to Matthew chapter 6, right quick, let's hold that precept, because we're going to be going back to Sirach chapter 5. Matthew chapter 6. Yeah. Keep y'all precept, because we're going back to Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth.
Then this goes into the same thing that we read in Sirach chapter 5, man. Don't set not your heart upon your goods, man. Right? This going into the same thing. Shalom, Sister Mary Houston, right? Read.
Where moth and rust doth corrupt,
Uh-huh.
and where thieves break through and steal.
Because we know, like you say, the Lord's not stopping us from go making money. He wants us to make money. You can make as much money you can, but don't let that be your sole purpose, just to live and just to get the bag, right? He said, don't set your heart upon this where moth and thieves can break in and steal, right? According to Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19, right? Mm-hmm. But we finna read down. Watch this. Read on.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven.
So the Lord said, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, man. Right? Read.
Where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt.
Read on.
And where thieves do not break through nor steal.
So guess what? This treasure that the Lord wants you to set your heart on, the treasure that you can give for the kingdom of heaven. Those are the treasures that we should be setting ourselves on. Right? This is how we're supposed to be. So then guess what? Setting yourself up, guess what, for the kingdom of heaven, this makes brothers and sisters, guess what? When you go, say for instance, you go get that bag, right? It helps you to go give alms.
Come.
Right? It helps you to give your time. Because a lot of time people that makes good money, get what they do. People make good money, and a lot of times, say for instance, like going into businesses. The bosses of the most business don't have to work, so they might have time that a regular person won't have, right? Yeah. So and guess what? And you can be doing work in the church, all kind of stuff, man, right? So let's read on Matthew chapter 6 and verse 21.
Verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
So that's the main reason why the Lord makes us to understand what we break down, man. Because when we go to Sirach chapter 15, chapter 5, this is the precept for it, Matthew chapter 6. Right? That's why the Lord tells us not to set our heart upon our goods. Because the Lord said before, because where your heart be, where your treasure is, where your heart be, right? Shalom, shalom. Yeah, where your heart be, right? But read on.
Verse 22. The light of the body is the eye.
He said the light of the body is the eye. So meaning, guess what? The things that we see in our eyes is our vision. Right? This is the tunnel to our soul, is our eyes, man. Right? Read on.
Therefore, if therefore thine eye be single.
So if your eyes be single, read.
Thy whole body shall be full of light.
So guess what? It said if your eyes be single, your whole body should be full of light. Let's go get what that's going into. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 15 right quick.
15 to 30.
Yep.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 30. The light of the eye rejoiceth the heart.
Right, read.
And a good report maketh the bones fat.
So this goes into the light of the body, going into your eyes, man. This is how you make your report fat. This is how you keep yourself in the right frame of mind and the right spirit, man. Because this is the way we should be thinking in the first place, right?
Okay.
Let's go back to Matthew chapter 6.
All right. Matthew 6. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 23. But if thy eye be evil,
You said, but if your eyes be evil, read.
thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
So guess what? Your whole body be full of darkness, right? You see how that thing goes. If your eyes are full of light, your whole body is full of, guess what? Rejoicing in fatness, man. Full of good. But if your eyes be evil, you got darkness in, right?
Okay.
Read.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness,
Read.
how great is that darkness?
So he said, if the light be in you is darkness, how great is the darkness, man? It's something that we got to check our spirit on, man. Right? It's something we got to literally check our spirit. That's what the Lord expecting us to do, right? But read on.
No man can serve two masters.
This is the point of Sirach chapter 5 and verse 1. He said, because no man can serve two masters, man. Right? Read.
For either he will hate the one
Read.
and love the other,
Read on.
or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
Right? That's the reason why the Lord said, man, look, the treasures that we got on this earth, the Lord said, you'll hold on to them treasures and you'll despise him, man. Right? Read.
Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
He said you cannot serve God and money. It's not gonna happen. You can't serve God and riches at the same time. This can't happen. Because if the riches is it's the occupation that gets you away from God, then you're not occupied in God's business.
Come.
All right. Let's go back to Sirach right quick. Sirach chapter 5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 2. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength.
So it says not to follow our mind and our strength. What does that mean? It said, follow not thine own mind and thy strength. Read.
To walk in the ways of thy heart.
What does that mean?
Proverbs 3 and 5.
Let's go there. This is how you precept your Bible. Because the question was, he said, the precept was, Sirach chapter 5, verse 2, it said, follow not thy own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. Because guess what? The Lord said, our heart is desperately wicked, right? This is what the Lord said plain, man, right? Let's go to Proverbs right quick, chapter 3.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart.
And this is what the Lord telling us, to trust him, right? When we trust the Lord, then we ain't got to worry about walking in the wrong path, right? Read.
And lean not unto thy own understanding.
This is what Sirach chapter 5 and verse 2 is going into, man. It said, trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not to our own understanding. Because the scripture is basically directing us in a path to get to God. If we go besides that path and go in our own way, guess what? We'll be misled, right? Read on. Shalom, Officer Yaakov. And Abraham, man. My bad, man. I should have answered that question, man. You called me and asked me for a question, and I really forgot the question he asked me. Man, I just came to the house, got busy too, man. You gotta forgive me for that, brother. Like, for real.
Verse 6.
Verse 6, read
In
on.
all thy ways acknowledge him,
In all thy ways acknowledge the Most High, read.
and he shall direct thy paths.
And the Lord gonna direct thy path, read.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil.
So guess what? It said, be not wise in our own eyes, man. Don't get, I mean, the Lord said, don't get beside yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't get beside yourself, man. You, hey, do what the Lord commanded you to do, right? Let's go back to Sirach, man. This is how you when you read, brothers and sisters, this is how con on it, but this is how you precept your Bible, man. When you going precept upon precept, man. Especially when you want to go into like digging into a chapter, right? You want to make sure that your precepts be flawless and crisp, right?
Yeah.
That's what Yar is breaking down in his class, man. Right? Even Benaniyah, right? Shoot, they had some good classes. I mean, Benaniyah had a nice Q&A yesterday, man. Right? Even going at the little heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he calls them, the little heads, right? But read on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 3.
Read.
And say not, who shall control me? Who shall control me for my works?
Right.
For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
Then what precept is that going in about the Lord avenging the proud? Let's see what you get.
I just did that.
Come on. I want to see what the Lord said about the proud, man. Help me out, man. Help this brother out. Let's see if he gets some.
I just did a class on that.
Yeah, go on deep. We precepting.
They said what he's gonna do to that pride.
Mm-hmm.
Sirach 10:3, the pride is the beginning of sin. Sirach 10:7, pride is hateful before God and man.
Man, come on, let's get some of them. Let's get it. We ain't just out here just, hey, it ain't like Money Mike. We ain't out here play. Not play. Alright?
The book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 7. Pride is hateful before God and man,
Right?
and by both doth one commit iniquity.
So this is how iniquity comes in, man.
Uh,
With the pride, right? Read.
Verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
This is what pride got us, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what pride got us, man. That's what even what Yaakov pulling. Go to that Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 16, man. All right. This is what pride get us, man. That's what, man. That's what I'm gonna start. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna do every class like that, but you know what I'm gonna start doing is to come online, and I'm gonna start doing it from time to time. Just getting up and just breaking down whole chapters, and guess what? And I want to involve just not myself and Ehud, but I want to involve the people in the chat too.
Mm-hmm.
Till we all precept a chapter together. If it's a good precept, we go with it. If it's not a good precept, not a bad precept, but if it don't go with the precept we got, then we just not gonna pull it, right?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things do the Lord hate.
Right?
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
Uh-huh.
A proud look,
A proud look, read.
a lying tongue,
Uh-huh.
and hands that shed innocent blood,
Read on.
and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations,
Mm-hmm.
feet that be swift
That beast will.
in running to mischief,
Read on, last part.
a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Because what the Lord said, all these right here go one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
These is basically going into the same thing, the same type of sin that the Lord said he hate. These go one and the same, right? And this is how, like you say, this is how we definitely get in there to precept our Bible. This is how we build up together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to Sirach chapter 5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 4.
Now, mind you, we ain't, if precepts come, we ain't gonna be able to pull every precept, but we will, like you say, get into that and we'll pull some precepts, man, that brothers and sisters put on the chat, man. Right? Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 4. Say not, I have sinned,
Read.
and what harm hath happened unto me?
So, hey, the Lord said, say not, right?
I'm playing with the Most High.
Say not, I have sinned, and what harm can happen to me? Read.
For the Lord is long-suffering. He will in no wise let thee go.
So you said the Lord is long-suffering. He said, don't think that he ain't forgot. Right? The Lord said, don't think that I forgot. I'm long-suffering, but don't think that I forgot, right?
I got a precept for that.
What's that?
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Let's get it. That's what I'm talking about, man.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11.
The precept to that is Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11, man. For Sirach chapter 5 and verse 4, you go back and forth. You precept back and forth with your scriptures, man. You make sure that Sirach chapter 5 and verse 4 is written on Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. And Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, you make sure that it's written on Sirach chapter 5 verse 4. So you make sure that, so once you read, and guess what, and you be in class or something, you got that precept, right?
God. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So this is the reason why the Lord told us not to do that, right? Because the Lord tell us not to do that, right? Because he don't want us to get our mindset to be like, you know, I'm in sin, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Yes, hey, don't think that the Lord forgot this, man. Right? Don't think that he forgot it, man.
You want verse 12?
All you brothers and sisters, happy Monday. Not happy New Year. No happy New Year's, happy Monday. Right?
God.
This ain't Sunday, but it's Monday fun day too.
God.
We precept, right? Read on.
Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times,
Right.
and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God, which fear before him.
Right? Because it's going to be well with God that fear before him, right? This is what the Lord's saying plainly, man. Right? This is what the Lord's saying plainly. Yeah. And this is a good precept too. Isaiah chapter 30, right?
You want me to pull it?
Yeah, let's pull it. Isaiah chapter 30, because this lines up with verse 5 too, when we get ready to go back. It's a good precept.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
Right.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
Right.
That they may add sin to sin.
Because this is what happens when your mindset thinks like this. I say not that I have seen and what harm happened to me, right? This type of spirit gets onto you, and guess what you do? You start adding sin to sin to sin, right? And this is what happens, man, right? This is what that type of spirit makes us think that way. And so that's how a person be fully set to do evil, right? Because they start adding sin to sin.
I got that Sirach 3 and 27.
Let's get there too.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 27. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin.
So guess what? On that Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1, that precept should be Sirach chapter 3 and verse 27. Right? You need to make sure brothers write that down beside that too. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1 and Sirach chapter 3 and verse 27 should be precept too. Right? Brothers and sisters, make sure they precept that thing, man. You can have it in your Swizzle, right?
You want to get that Deuteronomy 29 and 19?
We're going to read verse 5. We go back to Sirach 5 and 5, then we get that Deuteronomy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 5.
Yeah.
Concerning
propitiation.
Yeah, propitiation. It Salah. Concerning propitiation, be not without fear and add sin to sin.
So this goes into what we go, because there was a good precept that Sis had pulled from Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1, right? Even going into Sirach chapter 3 and verse 27. Now we finna get ready and go into Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 19, right? These precepts, these are all precepts, they lined up together, man. This is how you make the Bible have a better understanding, man. Y'all see that? Let me see. Show y'all something right quick. You see that? Let me see. Where my cooking thing at? You see that grill back there, right? Yeah. You see that, don't you? I don't know if y'all know that, but I am a cooker. I do cook food a lot. Outside and inside. Grill. What you call that? Hibachi grill. Yeah, I do barbecue grill. And I cook. I cook a lot. That's one of my things that I like to do.
God. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 19.
Yeah.
And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse,
right,
that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace.
Read.
Though I walk in the imagination of my heart to add drunkenness to thirst.
That goes in adding drunkenness to thirst is adding sin to sin, man.
God.
Right? And you ain't gotta start buying a plate. If you come around, you know I cook a lot. And you can bring some food, and guess what? Add to the food. Don't add sin to sin. Add food to food. Yeah, ain't no wrong with supporting the Israelite business for sure, 100%. No, but this ain't no business, man. I just be cooking, man. I don't think I always said this, and I know I've been saying it to brothers, but I know people that be around me the most, they hear what I say. If I wasn't driving truck, I'd probably be a chef. That's one of my passions. So they probably would go that way. All right. So when they added when they're talking about in Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 19, when it's talking about adding drunkenness to thirst, this goes into adding sin to sin. Right? Because if you drunk out philosophies, guess what? And you drunk out philosophies, guess what? When you thirsty for more drunkenness,
yeah,
you get more drunk off of philosophies, right? Yeah, you did. I sure had one for you, man. I sure wish you would have stopped through. You sure could have got a good old play. I had it ready for you too, Officer Jacob. And you came through, right? What's this? Let me see.
You want verse 6 or are you going somewhere else?
Let me see something right quick.
All right, go ahead.
No, yeah, you talking about Sirach chapter 5? Yeah, let's go back to Sirach. All right. No, when it's, then I want to touch that Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 19 right quick.
Okay.
Watch this. Go to Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 7. This is how you add drunkenness to thirst, right?
You said 28 verse 7?
Yeah.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine.
Right, so this is going into the drunkenness, what it's talking about in Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 19, right? Read.
And through strong drink are out of the way.
Right, read.
The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine.
And they swallowed up of wine, man. They added drunkenness to their thirst, man. Right, read.
They are out of the way through strong drink.
Read.
They err in vision.
So guess what? When you start being drunkenness with thirst, you start erring in your vision. So guess what? That means in your thoughts and stuff, you're not thinking straight, man. Right? Read.
They stumble in judgment.
And they also stumble in judgment, man. Right? Verse 8.
Verse 8. For all tables are full of vomit.
So when you drunken it with thirst, now all your tables is full of vomit, right? Read.
And filthiness so that there is no place clean.
So is there no place clean, man? This is why a person being drunken with thirst, man. All right. This is how a person get themselves out the way with the Lord, man. Be drunken with thirst like a mug, man. Right?
God.
This is how a person really get drunken with thirst, man. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 5, man.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins.
So he said, don't say that the Lord mercy is great, that he'll be pacified for the multitude of my sins, read.
For mercy and wrath come from him.
For guess what? The Lord said, mercy come from the Lord and wrath come from the Lord, read.
And his indignation resteth upon sinners.
And the Lord indignation rested upon sinners, man. What is he going into, man? Let's go to Romans chapter 9. Romans chapter 9, we're going to start at verse 14. This is what it's going into, man. Romans chapter 9, verse 14.
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 14. And what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Read.
God forbid.
He said, hell no. God forbid. Right? Read.
For he saith to Moses,
What'd he say?
I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
So he showed to Moses, I'm going to have mercy on who I'll have mercy on. Right? Read.
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Think about how the Lord say, I'm going to have compassion on who I want to have compassion on. Now, think about that, right? Read.
So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that sheweth mercy.
It's only God that shows the mercy, man. It ain't what you will, it ain't who that will or who that runs it. It's God that shows the mercy, man. Right? Let's read on.
Verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh,
What did it say?
even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
Just like the Lord is raising up these other nations. The Lord said, just like I raised the Pharaoh up, I can raise another nation up like to be the ruler of the planet at any time. Right? This is the Lord's mercy and this is the Lord's grace, right? Because he want to whoop us back into shape. But the Lord said, I can raise, just like the purpose of me raising Pharaoh up, read.
That I might shew my power in thee.
So he might show his power in thee. He might show his power in his saints, right? He show his power, guess what, in the world, right?
Come.
Read.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Because that's at the end of the Lord, guess what? The Lord gets to praise, right?
Come.
But read on.
Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he harden.
So the Lord said, I'm going to have mercy on who I have mercy on, and who I want to harden, I'll harden. Right? Hey,
Well, how you want
the Lord said, I'm going to do it how I want to.
to.
Right? He said, if I want to harden you, I'm going to harden you. If I want to have mercy on you, I'm going to have mercy. Just think about it. Do everybody in this truth, do we all, just think about every day we spend in this truth. It's all of our days, good days. Some days the Lord harden our hearts too, right?
You hardened mine before.
And guess what? The Lord have hardened all of our hearts before, man. All of our hearts have been hardened before. Guess what? It can be towards a job. It can be towards your husband. It can be towards your wife, your children. The Lord can harden your heart at any time, man. He can harden everybody's heart, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault?
So why he said, so if the Lord doing that, then you can say to the Lord, if the Lord said, if we don't think of the Lord that is like he doing something wrong, because you'd be like, well, dang, Lord, well, why you trying to find fault? If you hard my heart, right? Well, read on.
Well, who have resisted his will?
So, but the Lord said, don't try to talk to me and tell me about what I do, because who can resist my will?
God.
Who can stop me? The Lord said, who can stop me from doing what I want to do? Nobody, right? Nobody can stop the Lord, right? So read.
But, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me?
Made me thus,
Made
right?
me thus.
Right. Read on.
Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
So guess what? This goes into Jacob and Esau, man. He made one clay to honor and one of the same vessel, of the same body. He made one good and he made one evil.
That precept too.
Right? I know it. I don't want to take it too far from it.
Okay.
You know I'm precept out too high. You already know. But read on.
Verse 22. What if God, willing to shew his wrath and to make his power known, endureth with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
Read.
And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
Because guess what? He been prepared unto glory, right? Read.
Even us, whom he have called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles.
So now he said, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. What is this going into? What is this going into?
Neither Jew or Greek.
It goes in no, just make it plain. What's it going into?
Just pretty much the northern and southern kingdom.
It goes into the northern and southern kingdom. This is what this is going into. Because the reason why we know it's going to the northern and southern kingdom, we're going to read the verse, very next verse, and he's going to explain it. Read.
As he said also in Osee.
And Osee is going to say, as he said to Hosea. So this precept is going into Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10, 9 and 10, right? He said, as he said in Osee, read.
I will call them my people, which were not my people,
Read.
And her beloved, which was not beloved.
So it lets you know that it's literally talking about the northern and southern tribe, right? Read.
Verse 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living God.
So this lets you know that this literally says this in the prophet Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. Right? It literally says that, man. Right? Let's go back, man, to Sirach. Chapter 5, man. Make Sirach chapter 5, man. You know the Lord's mercy is always for the saints, man. Shalom to all you brothers and sisters that's in the chat too, man.
Hey, that verse 6 was Romans 9 and 14, or I know we read down.
Yeah, 9. Basically, that verse 6 was like Romans chapter 9, verse really 14 through 18, man.
14 through 18.
Yeah, you really can. I just kind of read it down since we was already there, but it really never went off subject, so they kept it on the same subject. So.
All right. The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
That's why the Lord said, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Read.
And put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
So what is this doing? The Lord said, don't put nothing off day to day. That's what the Lord said plainly. Don't put this thing off day to day. Right? The precept today is Psalm chapter 119.
Yeah, that's that. Make haste.
Yeah. So these basic scriptures, but these scriptures, they hit hard, man. Psalm chapter 119.
140.
And verse 59.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 59. Though I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
Now, this is the stuff that the Lord said don't put it off from day to day. You should be keeping the commandments every day. Right? You don't put these things off from day to day, because this ain't what you want to be trying to put things off, especially concerning the Lord, man. The Lord said don't put these things off from day to day. No. You need to be trying to keep these commandments every day. You should be striving to keep these commandments every day, right? Let's go back to Sirach, chapter 5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 8. Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
So the Lord said, don't set your heart upon goods that's got unjustly, man. Right? Give me a precept for that, brothers and sisters. Give me a precept for Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8. They see how much in tune they is today. Give me a precept for it. Huh? Give me a precept for Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8.
Sirach 5 and 1.
Yep, no, but that goes
Yeah,
it goes away.
Okay.
Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8, man. I need a precept for it, man. See what brothers and sisters got. Give me a precept for Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8. I want to see what they got.
Okay.
Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8. What precept? Now, let's see what you got. Matthew 6 and 19. Set not thy heart upon good. That's going into don't just set your hearts on goods of the earth. We had already precept there with something already.
Unjust.
But
thou shalt not cover.
Listen to the part. It says, thou shalt not set thy heart upon goods unjustly. This is unjustly goods. This is not just goods, because Matthew 6 and 19 is going up on your goods. Like setting what treasures up for kingdom of the heaven. This is goods set unjustly. Come on, man. You preceptors, man. Come on with it, man. We need some precepts on here, man.
I got it. Exodus 20 and 17.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I can accept that one.
Yeah, that's unjust like a mother.
I can accept Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. But it's some more. I want these preceptors to come out.
Right.
He said Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Yes, that's a thing. Yeah, and a gift destroys the heart. Right. That's a good one, Ezra. That's a real good one. Read it.
What, the Ecclesiastes?
No, the Exodus 20 and verse 17.
All right.
This is the 10th commandment.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Right.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Read.
Nor his manservant.
Read.
Nor his maidservant. Nor his ox. Nor his ass. Nor anything that is thy neighbor.
So this is going into the covenant. This is going to covet people's stuff, right? If any brothers and sisters not understand, when you read, I know when we read Exodus chapter 20. In Exodus chapter 20, right? Verse 3 is the first commandment. Verse 4 through 6 is the second commandment. Right? I'm gonna say that again. On the 10 commandments, right? Verse 3 is the first commandment. Verse 4 through 6 is the second commandment. Verse 7 is the third commandment. The fourth commandment is verse 8 through 11. It's the fourth commandment. Right? Verse 12 is the fifth commandment. Verse 13 is the sixth. Verse 14 is the seventh. Verse 15 is the eighth. Verse 16 is the ninth. And verse 17 is the 10th commandment. Brothers, if y'all get that. So if you precept in your Bible, you should be having first commandment, second commandment, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way down, right? That's how we should have that thing roll, right? Let's grab some of these precepts that brothers and sisters don't put on. I asked them to put some precepts on there. Let's grab some of these precepts off the screen. See if they precept good. That's why I know their precept good. We're gonna read it anyway though. Because there was a good precept to Sirach chapter 5 verse 8, right?
Ecclesiastes.
Yep, Ecclesiastes 7 and 7.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Read.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
And a gift ain't gonna destroy the heart, man. Yeah, I know. Come on. It says another one. 1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 21. Grab some brothers and sisters precepts. See if we see these precepts line up with it.
What was the one you called?
1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 21.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 21. And turn ye not aside for them For then should ye go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good. Who put that on there? Crypto Brinks. That's a good. That's a good precept. All praise to the Most High. That's a dang good precept, man. Zephaniah 1:18. Let's see here. Zephaniah gonna make it work.
That was 12 and 21.
12 and 21. That's a good one. 1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 21. Crypto Brink put a good precept up there, boy. That was a real good precept.
What's the one we going to now?
Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 18. Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 18. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
Read.
But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all of them that dwell in the land.
What you think? What you think? If you were doing a class, in a classroom setting, I probably used it. I can use that in the classroom set, but I will probably go up. I probably would go up to.
Oh, well, you know what? Because they do go with 8, because it says, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
Yeah. That's why I said, but that's why I would use it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm breaking the whole thing, I would use that, especially in the class setting. That's why I said I would use it. But in that, I will probably go up to verse 14 and read down to verse 18.
So the whole day of the Lord.
I will get basically going into the day of the Lord, right?
Okay.
So I would use that going into Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8 too, because I would precept. I would start from verse 14, and from verse 14 I would bring it down to verse 18, right? That's why I would put it in there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right, because that's why I say that's a good one too, because I would read the whole thing. So what we got? Abraham says Sirach chapter 20 and verse 29. See what young Abraham got, man.
All right, and then what was the one you just called out? 20?
20 and 29.
Let's see. The book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 29. Yeah. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise, and stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I got Ecclesiastes 7 and 7 next to that.
That's a good one.
What about that? Deuteronomy 16 and 19.
Right, that's a good one. Let's see what else they got on there. Somebody said 1 Samuel 15 and 15. Let's see, 1 Samuel 15 and 15. Brother, sisters, on this Samuel today, man. Samuel, good read, man.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 15. And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed.
Man, that's a good. Guess what? That's another precept in a classroom setting, right? I will use that for an example. The whole storyline, like when Saul took the best spoils, I would use that. If I was going Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8, and if I chose it as a title, guess what I would do? I would use that as a storyline in making a class. Yeah. So that really is a good precept. But I would use that, Hosea. I would use that as an example. I'll put an example by Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8. I'll put that as an example, right? And I use 1 Samuel chapter 15. I use 1 Samuel chapter 15, but I will abridge 1 Samuel chapter 15. You see what I'm saying? I abridge it and get the best parts out of it, so you can make that an example of if you're doing the class, right?
I got that Deuteronomy 16 and 19.
Hold on.
All right.
I want to catch these, get the rest of the days right quick, man. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 19.
All right.
Then we get that Deuteronomy 16, 19.
To Ezekiel
7 and 19.
7 and 19. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord.
Read.
They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity.
That's a good precept. What
good.
precept would I use with that? Well, let me ask brothers and sisters, what precept would you use with it? We just read it.
Yeah. 7. We can go Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. We could do that 1 Samuel 20, 12.
No, listen, that goes with that Ezekiel 7 and 19.
That's what I just read.
No, I mean, not Shalak, I said 7. What the fuck? It goes with that Zephaniah. Remember that Zephaniah?
Yeah.
For the day of judgment?
Con.
Yeah, they go with that Zephaniah.
What, that 1 and, what was it, 1 and 12?
Yeah. I said I'll read verse 14 through 18. They go with that Zephaniah chapter 1. Right? That goes with Sirach chapter 5 and verse 8, but that also go with that Zephaniah too, man. Right?
What,
that goes
Zephaniah?
in the day. One. I said it was Zephaniah 1 and 18, but I said I would have started at 14 and come on down with it. Right?
And expound on it.
Yeah, and expound on it. It's how you build up a class, right? Go Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 19.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 19. Thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift for a gift to blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous.
That's good.
That goes to Sirach 20 and 29.
That goes with Sirach 20 and 29 all the way. 100%. Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Sirach 20 and 29 all together. That's pretty good precepts, man. That's pretty good precept. Right? Let's go back, man. Sirach chapter 5, man. Y'all brothers is on fire today, man. Brothers is on fire today, man. See, I see chat looking at it, just test us out. They ready.
Yeah.
Ready, boy.
Lock and loaded.
For real.
All right. The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 9. Winnow, not with every wind.
That means don't mess with every wind, read.
And go not into every way.
Read.
For so doeth the sinner that have double tongue.
Oh, double tongue. What is that?
Ephesians 4:14.
What is that?
Ephesians 4:14 now.
See what we got.
I think that's a double-minded man.
That's James 1 and 8.
Yeah.
Read what you got.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 14.
It's Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 14. Read.
That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro.
Read.
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
The Lord told us don't be carried about with every wind of doctrine, right? Read.
By the sleight of men,
right,
and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Right. So this is what the Lord making it plain, man. Go to James 1 and 8.
We should put that heat on the paper, right?
I thought you said you ain't want it.
Well, my hands, my fingers getting cold, but I'm cool though.
Well, we put that bit right there. I promise that warm up.
Got your hands.
Well, I'm trying to tell you.
James 1 and 8.
Yeah, James 1 and 8.
Come, the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Because that's what the Lord said a double-minded man is. He's definitely unstable in all his ways, right?
Yeah.
That's what a double-minded man is, right? Hey, even go to Sirach chapter 33 right quick.
How about that? I got that Psalms 12 and 2.
Go to Sirach 33.
All right, I got you.
That Psalms, we'll get that in a
12
minute.
and 2. All right.
Sirach chapter 33 and verse 2.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33. You said verse 2?
Verse 2.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 2. It says, a wise man hateth not the law,
Right.
but he that is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in the storm.
What's a ship in the storm? A ship that tossed to and fro, right? Right. The Lord said, don't be like that, because you'll be like a ship that's tossed to and fro, man. Right? Goes into the same thing what we read, man. Which one you got out?
The book of Psalms, chapter 12 and 2.
Read it.
They speak vanity, every one with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak.
Yeah, that's a double tongue, right? It goes into the same thing, man. Of a double minded, double tongue. It goes into the same thing, man. What's that?
Ephesians 4 and 14.
All right. Go to Sirach chapter 1 and verse 28. It goes into that too. Let me see. Well, I'm supposed to put them precepts on that mud 9.
The book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 28.
Right.
Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor.
So the Lord said, when you going into a poor estate, don't just, woe is me. And so guess what? People lose trust in the Lord when they go through affliction or when they go through something. That's when people lose trust in the Lord, right? So the Lord said, don't lose your trust when thou art poor. That means when you're in the Lord's state. Read.
And come not unto him with a double heart.
So the Lord said, don't go to the people around. Don't even go around people that got a double heart. Right? Don't go around those people. This is what the Lord making plain, man. Plain and mention. Right?
So that was Sirach 5 and 9, right?
Yeah, this is Sirach chapter 5 and verse 9.
Can I got 1 Corinthians 10 and 21 on that?
Yeah, that's
Revelation 3 and 15.
That's a good one too. But see, I like to. I'm finna abridge it because I want brothers and sisters gonna keep some of them, because some of them preachers their brothers and sisters are pulling. Guess what? It's finna go down. When we get down further, we gonna need them precepts again, right? Yeah. And if we get down chapter 5, we gonna need them precepts again. So that's the reason why I want to read all of them. So what we at, verse 10?
Yeah.
Sirach chapter 5 verse 10.
The book of Sirach chapter 5 verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same.
It said, be steadfast in our understanding, and let our words be the same. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. When you get there, let's read it.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable.
He said, be unmovable, read.
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
And he said that we should be always abounding in the work of the Lord, man.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
That's why the Lord tell us to be ye steadfast, man. Because our labor ain't in vain, man. We ain't just doing this for nothing, man. Right?
2 Peter 3 and 17.
All right. Let's get down on that mud. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Where we at, 11?
Yeah, verse 11.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 11. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give an answer.
This is right here goes into the Proverbs chapter 15, right? Verse 23, right? This goes in Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 23. Right? Proverbs, let me see. Yeah.
15 and 23?
15 and 23.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 23. A man have joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good it is.
So this goes into what we reading in Sirach chapter 5 and verse 11, man. That's why, man, be swift to hear and let thy life be sincere, right? Because a man have joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good is it, right? Let's go back to Sirach chapter 5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 12.
Right.
If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Hey.
I got that Micah 3 and 7.
Let's do it.
The book of Micah. Come on, Micah.
If y'all got that precept, we know we going to Micah. Brothers and sisters, if you know we going to Micah chapter 3 and verse 7, man.
The book of Micah, chapter 3, verse 7. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, Barakatah.
Thank you.
They shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of the Most High.
So guess what, man? This goes into the vision of the prophets, man. This goes into the vision of the prophets, man. Right? This goes to also.
Barakatah.
Thank you. This goes to Ecclesiastes. Let's go there. Chapter 5, verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest into the house of the Most High.
That's why the Lord said, be swift to hear, man. Right? He said, if you, guess what? Even it says in verse 12, if you don't understand, guess what? You got to close your mouth. That's why the Lord said, keep thy foot when he going into the house of the Lord. Read.
And be more ready to hear.
And be more ready to hear, read.
Than to give the sacrifice of fools.
Than to give a sacrifice of a fool, read.
For they consider not that they do evil.
And the Lord said they don't even consider that they do evil. That's why, I guess what the Lord said that's why the Lord tell us, man, if you don't understand, put your hand on your mouth, right? Verse 2.
Verse 2. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High.
You see how they go?
Come.
Right? Because you don't want your mouth to be hastily just to utter anything, right? Thinking that you so super deep. You not deep like that, man. Just like, hey, just relax. We ain't got to, guess what? A person's action shows him how deep they are, right? But read.
For the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Right. Therefore, let thy words be few.
That's why the Lord said, let your words be few, man.
That's Rock 33 and 5, man.
Right. No, you want it? Nah, we ain't gonna get it. No, shit, my phone got about 4% on that mug.
Throw them fold.
Fold like a mug. Let's go back to Sirach chapter 5.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 13. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall.
Guess what? This is what I just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, right? This goes with that too. The Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 1 through 2, right? This goes with that. Right? This goes with the honor and shame is in the talk, right? And the tongue is the man's fall, right?
God. Verse 14.
Verse 14.
Be not called a whisperer.
He said, the Lord said, don't be called no whisperer, man. Read.
And lie not in wait with thy tongue, for a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue.
Upon the double tongue. That's the reason why I said y'all should hold it, because we got more double tongue precepts. Y'all see that now. Right? Let's go to Philippians chapter 2 and verse 6.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 6. Who, being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High.
Right, read.
But made himself in no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant.
Says, guess what? Even Christ himself, man, he wasn't whispering. He thought himself would be evil to try to say, you know what? If Christ was like this, why in the hell you think we got to? You see how they go? Right? That's why I say you got, some of the precepts with the double tongue. And like I said, I didn't want to get too far away because we got more to go with it, right? And now, so this part right here, now we can use some of these precepts, guess what, to go towards the double tongue, right? But read.
And was made in the likeness of men.
And was made in the likeness of Christ, right? Read. Of men. Read.
And being found in fashion as a man,
read.
He humbled himself.
What he do?
He humbled
himself. Read.
And became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross.
So Christ came, guess what? He didn't want to be found as being Sirach chapter 5 and verse 14. He didn't want to be a whisperer. He didn't want to lie and wait with his tongue. He didn't want to be found ashamed. He didn't want to be a thief or evil condemnation. He didn't want to be a double tongue. Right? He didn't want that for his life. So guess what he did? He stepped up like a man's supposed to do, man. Right? And this is what we expected to do too. So guess what? When we was going into Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 14, the 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 21, all these things right here goes into this Sirach chapter 5 and verse 14, right? Right? All these things go into that. Read Sirach chapter 5 verse 15.
The book of Sirach chapter 5 verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small.
So the Lord said, don't be ignorant in a great matter or a small matter. Read.
We're going to chapter 6. That's it.
He said, don't be ignorant in a great matter or a small matter. What's this going into? And understanding be ye men. I need my other scripture. God dang it. This is in understanding, he said, in malice be children, but in understanding be men. What's that?
I'm trying to think now.
Brothers and sisters,
I think that's in Matthew.
Give me the precept. No, it ain't in Matthew. It says, give me the precept that says, in understanding be men, but in malice be children. You got your Google right there, bro.
Yeah. I have it in my precept, bro.
Let's see. Give me the precept. In malice be children, but in understanding be men. Let's see what we got. What we got?
1 Corinthians 14 and 20.
That's it. 1 Corinthians 14 and 20. Let's read it.
Brethren, be not children in understanding.
Right, read.
Howbeit, in malice, be ye children.
So the Lord said, if we just playing around, we can be like children. Read.
But in understanding.
But concerning God's laws, statutes, and commandments, read.
Be men.
That's why the Lord say in Sirach chapter 5 verse 15, be not ignorant of anything in great matters or small. So guess what? If we know we playing, just let it be played. But if it's for real, be for real, right? Don't play the games with it, man. Right? This concludes of us precepting the whole chapter, man. Sirach chapter 5, man, from the beginning, man. So I hope brothers and sisters, man, like the video, man. Hey, like, subscribe. Hey, push the notification button, man. Help us push this truth around the four corners of the earth, man. All right? Let's go to Deuteronomy, what was that, 16, verse 19 that we read? Get us a law, man. Hope you brothers and sisters doing good, man. Happy Monday, not New Year's, but happy Monday. Hey. Got about 2% on my phone. I should have charged it. Maybe all right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 19. Thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons. Neither take a gift for a gift to blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous.
And with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.